Welcome to ledlightbulbsales.co.uk. Yesterday saw the launch of the NxtGen Series 3 from Simply LED, and I have to say it's a stunning bulb. I've dissected the bulb so we can actually have a look inside, because very often we don't know what we're really buying, I have to say that the quality of build here is really quite superb. There's a small circuit board with what appears to be at least 11 components on the surface board, back and front. The housing or the heatsink on the bulb is cast aluminium, and we know it's a Series 3 because it's painted grey, unlike the Series 2 that was black. So I took it apart just really to have a look inside and see the build quality, and as I say, I'm very impressed with the build quality. So what I'm going to do now is attempt to actually put it back together and plug it in, switch it on, and see if we can make it work again. So the circuit board slips inside the housing, and then we have three very small screws that screw from in the top side, and it's interesting to note that the actual LED side of itself is 21 chipsets, and it's a 5 watt equivalent. Sorry, it's 50 watt equivalent running on 5 watts of power. So whereas I'm using 60 watts in my standard fittings or standard bulbs, I'm reducing my power consumption by 55 watts of energy, which is a phenomenal amount really. Should also be noted with an aluminium casing or aluminium heat sink here, it's not very heavy, but it's got a good weight to it. You can actually feel the quality of the bulb just by touching it. So I've now inserted the 3 screws to hold the Edison small screw fit into place, and it's pretty firm. Underneath is a load of white gel of some sort. You find it in a lot of electronic components, so I'm not overly concerned about that. Now the chipset is actually just held in place by the lens, which has a corresponding number of magnifying bubbles, if you like, and one imagines that the factory stage this is a press fit, because I had an awfully difficult job trying to get this out. So I'm just trying to line it up best I can, and it's quite difficult when the chipset underneath moves around as well. See if we can sit that in its correct position, which is about there, and then we'll have a go at lining up the chipset. As I say, it's press fit in the factory, so it's really quite difficult for me to get it out, and you can see the markings on the lens where I prized it out with a screwdriver. So the chances of getting this back in complete are pretty remote, I have to say, but let's give it a go. So we'll stop the video there so I can hammer it a little bit, and then we'll start the video again. It actually wasn't that difficult, to be honest, but I probably made quite a bit of a mess of it. As you can see, I've scarred the actual heatsink here, and completely ruined the lens here by prizing it out with a screwdriver initially. But as you can see, the magnifying lens has magnified these chipsets just enough so that you can see it, but what that actually does is intensifies the light. So I wouldn't recommend that you try this at home. I wanted to show the quality of the build, both inside and the aesthetics of the actual bulb on the outside, and be aware that I am a trained mad nutcase, and I'm actually going to plug this now into a side light and see if it actually works. So I have a side light here, of which I'm just going to take out a 60 watt bulb. Well, let me show you the 60 watt bulb as it illuminates the 2 E14 LEDs here, and that's a standard clear golf ball 60 watt Edison screw E14. Just taking that out now, and you can see there it's a filament E14. So I'm going to take the light that we've dissected and put back together and just screw it into the lamp holder, and then we can, if I don't cross thread it, we can have a comparison. For some reason I can't get that in. We can make a comparison between the two. Now do remember that the clear one I've just taken out is a clear 60 watt golf ball shaped bulb, and this is the 5 watt LED bulb E14 NxtGen Series 3 from Simply LED. And whilst this is 60 watts, what we're actually illuminating it with is a 5 watt bulb, so there's a phenomenal difference. And to be honest, the amount of light that's actually emitted isn't that much difference. So we're very pleased with the E14's NxtGen Series 3. And it should be noted that Simply LED are one of the first to comply with the new EU directive, which advises manufacturers and suppliers to specify certain things, and one of those things is the beam angle of the bulb, and the E14 is a 60-degree beam angle, and the total lumens of the bulb, which in this case is 430, but more specifically they advise to specify the useful lumens, which is 340. So I hope you've enjoyed that dissection of the series NxtGen Series 3 E14 LED bulb from Simply LED.